Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and you're listening to
Neverland Navigation Radio.
where we step back in time to the Hollywood that never was and always will be.
Is that how it goes?
I don't know. I took a convincing stab at it though, didn't I?
Yeah. Sounded good.
Yeah. Today we're talking about our favorite attractions in Disney's Hollywood studios.
Yeah?
This is.
But I still affectionately think of it as MGM.
Me too. This will be Disney MGM Studios until I am dead.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Disney has changed it. And a couple years ago, they sent out a survey asking if we change it again, what should we change it to?
I know. How weird was that?
To guests in the park.
Right.
As part of their,
you're going to change it again? Yeah. Would you remember the options?
Disney's Hyperion Park.
Okay.
Disney's Studio Park.
Right.
And one that was like Disney Movieverse or something like that, like a wild card one. You know what I mean? One that's wacky and different from the other.
Right.
I think Hollywood Studios is a good, if not slightly generic name for this theme park.
Sure.
I would say it is probably the least imaginatively titled of the park names.
Wait, because you love Animal Kingdom.
But like Animal Kingdom is at least a bit of a double entendre because it's like Animal Kingdom, yes, the Animal Kingdom, popular phrase, but also it's a play on Magic Kingdom,
right?
A little bit, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's true.
So it's got something to it.
I'll give that to you.
Hollywood Studios, it's very straightforward, isn't
it? It sure is. Yeah.
Not that I mind.
I don't mind.
Sometimes it's good to get right to the point.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to take out Hollywood because they've taken out all of the like Hollywood parts of it. You know what I mean?
Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes.
Entrance of the park. Yeah, other than that,
they've got no like backlot kind of
Disney's Movieverse.
Yes, that's what it is. I hate that name.
Yeah, but it really does accurately reflect what they've done with
it. Yeah, you're right. That is what it is.
Yeah, we're going to Disney's movie. No, we're not. We're going to Epcot later. How are you? How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. We're going to the Rose and Crown today for dinner.
How exciting.
Yeah, can you believe
I haven't been since I was a kid.
I've never eaten there ever.
This is in the UK in World Showcase.
It's rare that there's a restaurant in Walt Disney World that neither of us have any real experience with. Like, you ate there when you were a kid.
I was like 11, so it was a really long time ago.
Right, so like neither of us really have any relevant experience, and it's a pretty popular place to eat.
Yeah, I've heard that you can get decent firework viewing from there. We'll see.
We'll try.
We haven't been in there. You know what I mean? Like you don't go in there unless you have a reservation. So
it's also, Morgan and I aren't big drinkers, and I feel that stretch of the UK is really aimed toward people stopping to get a pint.
Yeah,
we're not those people.
We're not.
So we're defying the order of things.
Yeah. I do love fish and chips though. I think I'm
excited to try everything.
Yeah, me too.
I've never had
the menu there is very small.
Yeah.
You had a bite of my fish and chips when we went to Dublin's.
Yes.
And Disney Springs.
It was pretty good. It was
so good.
It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I love the fish and chips at Cooks of Dublin, but that's the quick serve. What's the other one called?
Can you believe we do this every single week? Raglan Road.
Raglan Road. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, at Raglan Road.
Which
My
used
bad.
to be, according to a cast member, the carousel at downtown Disney. Do we believe this story? Do we know what's going on?
I find it hard to believe.
We're gonna get to the bottom.
We will. We'll get to the bottom.
There I was in what's this restaurant called?
Raglan Road.
There I was in Raglan Road, Googling for a map of downtown Disney versus a map of Disney Springs, so I could figure out.
And what she said didn't wind up making sense, did it?
No, because we found out it was the site of a former club.
Oh yeah, right.
So unless there was a club,
but the inside of that restaurant is shaped in a way that it would make sense if there was a carousel there, if it was an indoor carousel, which maybe that's how that rumor started, or maybe that is what was there before the club. We'll look into it.
You let us know, but it's always interesting when we're trying to figure out these historical stories of these attractions or restaurants or something. And sometimes you really have to go the extra mile to put the pieces together.
You really do, because unfortunately, cast members are just as susceptible to rumors as the rest of us.
Very true.
So I have gotten some misinformation from cast members before. Now, there are some cast members that do what we do and go above and beyond trying to find out the truth.
Nancy Drewing.
Yeah.
To get to the bottom of things.
Yeah, but then there are some that, will believe something they heard from somebody else, and it just winds up being a thing.
It's just the way of things.
It's the way of life, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
we're way off topic.
Oh, of course. I was just gonna say there's some Disney history that's not super well documented, so it's even harder to figure it all out. But something that is super well documented is the history of Disney's Hollywood studios,
right?
Disney MGM studios. This is one of my. I would say if you told me, let's go to Disney World right now, where do you want to go? I probably want to go to Hollywood. Isn't that crazy?
No. Now it makes sense. You know what I mean? A few years ago, Hollywood Studios, not a few, like 5, was in
before Toy Story.
Yes, it was in such a more than 5, right? Anyway,
about 5,
was in such a transition period that it was my least favorite to go to.
It's a little bit like Epcot has become.
Yes.
Where Epcot can really be. Now, I'm not saying Epcot is my least favorite to go into. That's probably the one we go into the most.
It is.
But that being said, it is definitely hard to navigate the front half of that park right now.
Yeah, and I think that the way that they did it with Epcot, where Epcot has the 2 newest rides in all of Walt Disney World, made it so that it didn't get passed over because of all the construction.
Yeah.
So smart, you know what I mean? Maybe when they go to update Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom, they'll think of that. Hey, we should put in an e-ticket ride, then start crazy construction.
Yeah, it was a pretty effective strategy for them. Disney's Hollywood Studios has a lot going on for it, for tourists, for first-time visitors, because it's got a lot of their kind of headliner attractions, things you'd see on billboards.
Right.
So you've got a lot of, like, between Rise of Resistance and Tower of Terror, and these are some of Disney's most marketed attractions.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot going on for you there, but something great about it is it's got a layout and a culture to it that is a little bit more appealing to more regulars, like annual pass holders.
Yeah. It also has a nostalgia for us, you know what I mean? Or for anybody.
It certainly does. We've really watched the park evolve and change in our own life.
So much.
We've been there for the biggest transition of this park, so I feel like we're all connected to it.
Yeah. I would say that Hollywood Studios has the most e-ticket attractions, would you not? But also it has the most heartbreak for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was there when we were kids that were our favorite things,
right? That
are no longer there. So the studios of the past, there's a great account on Twitter called "Remember When the Studios Were Fun" or something like that.
Oh wow!
And so shout out to that person. But basically, all they do is tweet out pictures of old attractions, tweet out pictures of details of things in queues that you had forgotten.
Right.
You used to love, or like they would tweet out park maps from these days, and you could see that it was like, oh, the Hunchback of Notre Dame live on stage was one of the attractions.
Right.
Lights, Motors, Action hadn't opened yet. They were, advertising for it. The Streets of America were there. I'd forgotten how close the Muppet Vision 3D area was to Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, the playground. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the playground.
Yeah.
They were right across from each other.
Right.
Those things from my childhood I'd forgotten, that like you go on Twitter and you're like, oh, I miss a little bit when Studios was.
I mean, there's a ton of stuff I miss. Like that whole back
what I just
section
said doesn't even scratch the surface.
Yes.
So we should just go through it because we're not going to have another chance. Some of our favorite stuff. First of all, we talk about the Great Movie Ride all the time, and we should. But maybe even a bigger or a comparable loss in terms of attractions that were integral to the identity of the park.
Yes.
Was the Backlot
Tour. Yeah.
The Backlot Tour was, like, in my opinion, the heart and soul of the concept.
And that was the original plan, was for that to be the headlining attraction back then.
We actually got into this a little bit in our last episode. but because we were making a comparison of that to the safari at
Oh, right.
Animal Kingdom.
Sure.
But it was meant to be, this long-term thing that you spent a lot of time on. It was
Yeah.
different from the other rides because it was meant to be a whole part of your day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's what made it and that's why it
And
had
that's
such
what
a huge footprint.
Yeah.
When you look at the map
Oh,
of the
yeah.
park back then, like Kilimanjaro Safaris is to Animal Kingdom,
Right.
the backlot tour took up a huge footprint of land.
Like more than half of the rest of the park, right?
Yeah, before the Sunset Boulevard expansion, this thing was like,
yeah, that was it.
yeah, it was the main thing that you went to do there.
Yes. And it is the thing that transported you to Hollywood.
Yes.
To a movie studio.
Right. It really was. People talk a lot about immersion now, and how when we build these queues and we build these show scenes, how we can manufacture an immersive feeling and environment.
Right.
Hollywood Studios MGM on the backlot tour did more than that, because it showed you the truth. It didn't synthesize an environment. It took you into the environment they were talking about. So you would not only be on a backlot, obviously probably the headline of the attraction was this backlot of different film used props and vehicles and things, but it also took you through the art department. So you could see the backdrop being painted for Beauty and the Beast live on stage.
Right.
It took you through costuming, where people were hemming dresses for, the live entertainment, the
yes.
Little Mermaid show, the Citizens of Hollywood's costumes. They showed you how a movie is made because it's so close to how a theme park is made.
And you got to see all kinds of props from movies that you knew and loved. You know what I mean?
There were ships from Star Wars. There was something from the Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
There was all kinds of stuff. I couldn't even start.
Roger Rabbit lived there for a while.
Yeah, you would go through, and there were all kinds of like automobiles and stuff like that. Yes, exactly.
Yes, a lot of like iconic movie stuff, and you look at it and you go, "Oh yes, this is like a tour of cinema via props from the actual movies."
Right. They would explain forced perspective. Yes. You would go through and see the sets from where the outside of a lot of TV shows were filmed and stuff like that. It was just very cool.
Yes, awesome. And also, not even touching on the highlight, Catastrophe Canyon,
right,
which was a demonstration of how special effects are done in movies at a real scale.
Right.
Very similar to the earthquake attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Right.
And a part of that is because when the park was being developed, Michael Eisner had previously worked for the company that was overseeing the development of
Earthquake?
Universal Studios.
Oh, wow.
So he kind of had insight into what to expect. And so when he was building the competition to that park, he was kind of able to figure in, well, how can I give these tourists the experience they're going to have over there and more?
Yeah.
He really had, an inside track to it. So a lot of the fabric of Hollywood Studios, MGM Studios history has a lot to do with how competitive Michael Eisner was in the theme park industry at the time, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
The park is very different now, but it still has a lot of, good attractions.
Right.
And fun things to do. So we're going to just go through our favorite and least favorite attractions over at the studio.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, those couple things were still just the tip of the iceberg of stuff that's gone. Earful Tower was such a cool that was such a cool landmark, and that was their icon. Right. Even though the Grauman's Chinese Theater was built from the get-go, right?
Yeah, the Earful Tower, and in the dedication ceremony of the park, most of it takes place in front of the Chinese Theater, but it's being hosted by Michael Eisner, who is standing on the water tower.
Right.
So
this is a water tower with Mickey ears, you guys, if you haven't seen it.
Right. So it was like from day one, it was such an iconic piece of Disney iconography that you couldn't help but see it on.
Right.
They used to sell little miniature ones,
yes,
keychains.
Yeah, and it was on all of the shirts. It was the icon.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's gone. The Streets of America, which was Osborne's Spectacle of Dancing Lights, which I've said many times was my favorite thing in all of Walt Disney World until it got taken away. There was a cute little coffee shop back there.
Oh, the writer's
Yes.
room.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called. I don't know that that's.
Oh wait, where is that?
No, you're right. It's right at the beginning of Streets of America.
Oh yeah, now that's kind of Baseline Tap House.
Yeah, it was across the street from the exit of Muppets, so that makes sense.
Right by Honey I Shrunk
the kids' playground,
yeah, which is also gone.
Which is gone and was
Mike's
amazing.
Motors action stunt show is gone.
Right. Yep.
That it's weird that one like lived and died in my time visiting the park.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I saw the whole life. It's rare that Disney builds something at that scale that goes away.
But I think that one was supposed to be temporary because it was on borrow from Disney Paris for the 100 years of Disneyland or something. Right? Yeah. Not Disneyland. No, it couldn't have been 100.
Not 50 or something.
Yeah, we don't know.
The Year of a Million Dreams.
That's it.
That was part of it.
Yeah. Where everybody borrowed something from somebody else. So I think that was supposed to be temporary, but then I don't know. But also back there were a lot of characters that you couldn't see at any other parks that also weren't Disney in my like.
Hollywood Studios had a very strange history of characters. At one point, Ace Ventura did
a
show.
Yes, right.
A little street show.
Isn't that weird?
That is very weird.
The Streets that was America. Back there by Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playground. The Ninja Turtles were back there sometimes. They had a show.
The Turtles had like a show and a float, and you could meet them. The Power Rangers.
Yeah, the Power Rangers
also had a float and a meet and greet.
So this was like different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was it felt like you were in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Because it felt like all the different,
franchise
properties are all coming together to hang out at MGM Studios. It was a cool feeling.
Yes.
There you could really feel the difference between Hollywood Studios and all the other parks.
Absolutely.
In those moments. Because it was like the barrier was broken a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
Anyway, so
where should we start on this list of prolific, for good or bad reason,
I think we should start with a bottom so that we end high.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
All right.
Jake thinks we're gonna have wildly different lists, but I'm not
this
sure.
Isn't even on your list, sister.
That's what I think's gonna happen. I think you're gonna have some stuff that's not on my list, but I don't think your tops are going to be on my bottom.
And that's great because we'll cover so much ground this way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cool.
Something that a lot of people don't even consider here, and my bottom five, in my opinion, one of the worst things at at Hollywood, I don't even know where we are, at Disney's Hollywood Studios, is both Disney Movie Magic and The Wonderful World of Animation, which are projection shows.
I just started to put this on my bottom list. You're absolutely right. This needs to be better.
They're these short projection shows that are shown on the Chinese theater.
Uh-huh.
And it was something that you did while Fantasmic wasn't open. And now Fantasmic is open again, and I don't think I will ever watch either of these.
Yeah, when Michael's cousins were in town and they wanted to see fireworks, but we only had one day to do everything, we wound up seeing the fireworks show there, which is part of one of these, right?
Yeah, I believe Disney
movie. Anyway, and it was such a disappointment compared to the other fireworks shows in Walt Disney World. Yeah. I was surprised.
To be fair, these aren't meant to be nighttime spectaculars. Disney says the nighttime spectacular at Hollywood Studios is Fantasmic.
Sure.
So I guess these are meant to be.
But Fantasmic just opened.
Right. It was closed for refurb for so long because it happened during COVID. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I guess these are kind of akin to like the Epcot, light shows that they do now, Beacons of Magic or whatever. They're like kind of.
Well, if it's supposed to be like that, I would say Sure.
Yeah, exactly. They're just fine. But
for the longest time, this is all they had
right,
as
this
far as the
was
nighttime.
thing.
Yeah,
they did.
whether you call it that or not, this was it.
But even beyond that, I feel fine talking about the quality of it. They're just okay. They're kind of a little bit like the finale scene of the Great Movie Ride, where they would play a bunch of clips from a bunch
I
of
loved
movies,
the finale scene of
but
Great Movie
without
Ride.
the whimsical, enchanting quality that had. If
Yes.
y'all remember that one, the background music to that was the Entertainer. That piano piece that goes that classic bit of music. These instead sometimes tend to feel a little bit more like those coming soon to Disney DVD.
I know.
And they would play.
That's why I always think of it as like a commercial.
Yeah, they would play a montage of like new Disney releases. It feels a little bit like that.
The animation one, I would say, is even worse because it's kind of like what they do for Harmonious or for Enchantment, which are the big nighttime spectaculars at the other parks, except for not as good, with almost no fireworks. But
and this does do the trick for if you can't see Phantasmic for some reason, and you want to give your night a little, chef's kiss and cat little thing, this isn't
just
bad.
know what you're going into.
Yeah, this is fine for like a very casual thing, so it does serve that purpose.
Right.
But beyond that, something's got to be on the bottoms list, and this was a pretty much a no-brainer for me. That this was, of what it is, not the highest quality.
Yes, if you only get to do one nighttime spectacular, this should not be it.
Oh yeah, please go see Phantasm.
Oh yeah. Or go to a different park.
Yeah, get out of there. All right.
All right.
Should we talk? Well, why don't you give us a what's on the bottom for you?
So I put Lightning McQueen Racing Academy, which is
that's number 3 for me.
Yeah, it's okay. I was gonna say it's partially not fair because I'm not the biggest fan of the Cars movies. And if you've got and if you've got a child, or you are an adult that loves the Cars movies, then maybe this is a bigger deal for you. But for me, it just, I don't know. It's not extra enough.
That animatronic is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it kept my spirits high for this attraction for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because then the rest of it started, and wow. Yes, it is for children, I would say, primarily. This is very young child aimed. So for young children, honestly, not bad. Here are some things I wish they did. Had seats with back support for the adults.
Yeah.
Made the show somewhat interesting for those of us who are not 5 years old.
Right.
And maybe was told from a perspective that would make people more interested in the Cars franchise. I, however, now am less interested in the Cars franchise.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Actually, I don't want to write this off as I'm not a big Cars fan, so that's why this didn't appeal to me. Because in Disneyland, they have a whole Cars land, and I love that land.
Radiator Springs.
Yes, I love the land. I love how immersive it is. I love
Take a shot.
I love the ride that is back there. Radiator Springs Racers.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's an amazing land. So it's not that. And like, I don't really love the Avatar movies, but Pandora. I love Pandora.
That's another story.
Yeah, I would spend all day in Pandora.
Right.
So
they could have done something. And with that song, Life is a Highway.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That you've got that. Why aren't you doing something with that?
Yeah.
It would be so much more cool to, if you've got to infuse IP into everything, just put Cars on Test Track or something. You know what they,
I know.
You know what they really should do is they should redo that Tomorrowland garbage Autopia, and they should make it Cars themed and put Life is a Highway, but instead talk about the future of Cars. So, hi, I'm Barry, and I'm a
electric car,
hands-free electric car. I'm better for the environment and safer for you and your kids.
Yeah,
he takes you around the track.
Sure,
so you got to do something. You got to do something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is for as much as I dislike the Cars franchise, I feel like this is an underutilization of the Cars franchise.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And like I just said, I don't have to like a movie to enjoy
Right.
a ride, a show, a part of the park.
Right.
I don't need that.
You're open-minded and
Yeah.
free-spirited and whimsical.
Unfortunately,
willing to be impressed.
This feels like kind of at least this space for me. Before it was this, it was utilized during ESPN The Weekend, which MGM would host.
Yes.
And you would go back there and people were like playing basketball, or you could line up to get a signature of some sports star that was there. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not that it was anything amazing before.
Do you know what else this was, though? It was something amazing.
Oh, okay.
It was called Club Villain. And it was this this entertainment experience where you could go sit down in the lounge.
When?
I would say the mid 2010s. So maybe like 2012 to 2015 or 16.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah.
It was a shorter lifespan than that. I also missed this and I regret it. But it was called Disney's Club Villain, and it was a lounge act. Think like the musical Chicago or Cabaret or something. Where each of the villains told their story and sang their song for you.
Oh my god!
In like a dining club atmosphere.
That sounds amazing.
Yes. I worked with a friend who.
I remember you telling me about this, but I didn't know this is where it was.
Who worked as part of the cast of this attraction, and I have to say it is the thing.
Let me tell you the dates.
Yes.
You ready for this? It opened January 2016 and closed October 2017.
Wow, so it was only live for a year.
Not even, right? Oh, yes, a year.
Yeah,
sorry.
That makes me...
a year, a little over, like almost 2 years, yeah.
That makes me so sad, because I feel like this is incredible. This fits into Hollywood studios so well.
And people want villain stuff.
People want villain stuff. People want entertainment. People want stuff for adults to do. This feels a little bit more like appealing to the adult crowd. I think this is a great idea. I wish they would have held on to it and did something else with it. If not, put it in a resort. How cool would it be to have
absolutely
Club Villain at a resort?
Yeah, totally.
Know? But I do miss that. So knowing that was in that space, and now I have to look at.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It looks like. Sorry, it looks like it was open from January 2016 through March 2016, but then came back in October 2017 for Halloween.
Oh wow!
So it wasn't even a year.
Really limited.
Really, really limited.
Wow, I feel like I've got the scoop on like a pretty non-existent attraction.
Yes, and this is why I didn't know about it. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed it. It seems like it was tailor-made for me.
It seems like something a lot of people would like. I'm really surprised it didn't work out, but we don't know. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But,
let us know if you saw Club Villain.
We know that they opened Lightning McQueen thing, so.
We do know that Owen Wilson. Okay. All right. Let's move on to some tops.
Yeah. Sorry. I had to look up the information on this because I was like, there's no way I missed this for 10 years.
Yeah. No. Yeah, not for 10 years.
I would have, you know what I mean? I would have been aware. But yeah, if it was like a couple of months, holy cow.
It's a blip. But aren't you sad you missed it?
So sad.
Yeah, me too. I wish I could like experience it in a real way.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. What's number 5? What's on your best list? I know you don't enumerate things.
So I actually have a couple of honorable mentions. So I don't know, but you're definitely going to mention one of them. So I can just.
Can we do them at the end? Honorable mentions.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, because there's going to be some stuff that neither of us cover. I think. Just because there's so much in Hollywood studios to get through.
Okay. I have one of the ones on my list is actually Slinky Dog Dash, which I bet is not on yours.
It's in my honorable mentions.
There you go. So Slinky Dog Dash is a roller coaster that's not like a super thrilling over the top roller coaster.
Yes.
Kind of like it's more than a kid roller coaster, although kids can go on it.
More than the Barnstormer.
Yes, better. That's a low bar, but it is better than the Barnstormer.
You're talking smack about my Barnstormer.
Yeah, sorry. Gotta keep it real. That's what we do.
All
right. So Slinky is a wildly over the top, like details everywhere Toy Story roller coaster. And I like the feel of it. I hate the line for it, but other than that, I like when I've been able to go on it. I like the way, I like how smooth it is.
Very smooth.
I like the different things that they've got going on, like the, I don't know what it's called when you're going like
A bunch of little hills in a row.
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That
That's the technical term.
Thank you. I knew you would know it. There's a part where you stop and then you're launching but it's like you're one of those toys that we had when we were kids that's like the car on the racetrack kind of thing.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it was like Hot Wheels. Yes, exactly. You got me.
Yeah. We're good.
Yeah. And then it's just the details everywhere. The animatronic at the end. The animatronic in the middle, right? Would you call that a giant, those two giant animatronics?
They're not animatronics. They don't move.
They talk.
Yeah, they're static figures.
They're static talking, but yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what that is. But the one at the end does move.
Yes, that's a very impressive animatronic.
Yeah, it's Wheezy.
He's cool.
Yeah, and that's where you're sitting waiting to unload. So
can I tell you something about Wheezy? When I was a kid, Lil Wayne was a big deal, and he went by the nickname Wheezy. So now every time I see that animatronic, I think of Lil Wayne.
Why did you do this to me?
Oh, no. So sorry. Oh.
Okay, it'll be okay.
It's fine. I think we can cope. It'll be okay. We'll be there for each other. But Slinky Dog Dash is great.
The reason that I would put this towards the bottom of my best list is because of the queue. The queue is horrific until you get to the end, and then it's great. But like, the line is always over an hour long and outside in the heat. Yeah, it's a rough line.
I refuse.
Right. You know, so we don't go on it much.
I don't, but I love it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, my poor mom, I love her so much. We were riding this attraction and she was absolutely screaming like she was on she was on Rock and Roll.
That's so cute.
Just for like the little launch, it was so cute. So I have that really fun memory of this ride.
Yeah.
So it actually endears it to my heart a little bit more.
Of course.
What I mean? And I love how much wind you get up there.
Oh yeah, it
makes it like a really fun. And at nighttime.
Oh, night's the time to go. I mean, it's probably great all the time, but
it is. I've ridden it in the middle of the day, and it's nice because you do get some really interesting views of Hollywood studios.
Oh, that's a good point.
So while Star Wars Land was being built, we would always ride this in the day because you could see into the land. It was really
sneaky.
But when you're, but now at night, the lighting in there, and they string up Christmas lights all over Toy Story Land, and it makes for a really beautiful atmosphere for a nighttime ride.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I love the lights. And they do a lot of I would say neon-y, glowy lights on the ride itself.
Yeah, it's very colorful.
Yeah. Oh, I love the colorful nature of it. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Are you ready for a top for me?
Yeah.
All right. This is not making anyone else's top 5 list, but that's why it's mine. It's Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Beauty and the Beast live on stage is probably the first theatrical thing I ever saw in my entire life. The first theater show I ever saw.
Okay.
Which is wild, but it's true because I went to Disney World as a kid. I was not taken to theater as a kid, so this was it. This is what I got.
Right.
I got a 15, 20-minute version of Beauty. It's probably a little longer than that. Maybe 30-minute version of Beauty and the Beast. I'll get to the bottom of that for you. But what you need to know is...
You keep talking. I'll look it up.
Okay, thank you. Is that Beauty and the Beast live on stage is a short, Broadway-style theatrical retelling of the events of Beauty and the Beast. It is fully costumed with some great costuming. It is told on a stage that is meant to resemble the Hollywood Bowl.
It's about 25 minutes.
It's about 25 minutes long, and it's got some great choreography, all your favorite music from the show, and a horrific, traumatizing, huge
5-foot chip.
The worst part of this show, and the reason it is at the bottom of my favorites list, is because the way that they approach the mascot-style characters from the movie in this attraction is laughably bad and has aged so poorly that it feels lower than Disney on Ice quality.
I also wish it were indoors.
Yes, they do have huge decapitation station looking fans at the
Oh my
top
god.
of this
What a way
thing
to describe that. That was fun.
well, I just think they look like a helicopter.
Sure,
don't
sure.
they?
Yeah.
They're those huge fans that do keep things kind of cool, but on a Florida humid day, you need more than that to cope with the heat. So
Some of the seats are in direct sunlight, are they not?
depends on where the sun is shining.
Yeah. I'm sure I've been in there in direct sunlight, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure I'm doing this again.
Yeah, so like that definitely should be addressed in some type of way.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but somehow. But other than that, let me tell you when the ideal time for this is the last showing, because
At night? Is it after sunset?
it depends on what the time of year is.
Oh god.
Because of
Yeah.
but yeah, it is cooler. You get more of the effect of the stage lights because it's dark outside, so it's nice. As in the lights shine more brightly.
Okay.
So it's cool. There's a lot of advantages to actually seeing the show later at night. I also feel like theater is better enjoyed toward the end of your day. I don't know.
Well, you're probably tired. I think that would help a lot of people. You know what I mean?
And the big fans with the sunset, it actually makes it like a very nice climate in there. So it's actually really nice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So my advice for you is to get some hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. If it's December or January.
Yeah, if it's the winter. To get some hot chocolate.
Both months of the winter.
Go to the last show of Beauty and the Beast and enjoy it. It's
okay.
Fun. It's a good time.
All right. Well, it's winter now, so we should do it. I haven't been in years.
There's live singing.
Yeah, I haven't been in years because of what I just said.
Yeah, Belle and Gaston sing live, so it's.
It's
cool.
also bench seating, is it not?
It is benches, but the benches do have backs.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, I'm not saying it's number one.
Oh, I get it.
It's just one of my favorite things.
I am not like dissing it. I just
Here it comes. You think you know someone.
I just think that for comfort level, I think that Disney could do better. You know what I mean? They spend all kinds of money. How much money would like some theater seating be?
Yeah, I think there could be improvements for sure.
Yeah,
without question. All right. Let's move along.
Okay.
I don't want to harp on poor Chip.
Yeah, poor Chip.
What's in the?
They're all big.
They're all big. Yeah.
It's just Chip's the weirdest because
because he's supposed to be little.
Yeah.
What do you have? What do you have on your top?
Oh, we need
to do a bottom. What do you have on your bottom?
Okay.
Jeans.
This is a little bit of a, you'll have to. No, I'm not going to insult something you love. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't care.
think.
I wish you would.
No, I know. Do you want to argue?
Let's
Feeling
fight.
Snarky?
Let's fight. I'm going to put on my boxing gloves.
Okay, I put anything going on back in the Disney Junior section.
The title of this.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you've got to...
Anything going on there back in that part.
That whole section has been a disaster for me for like 10 years.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, where they have like the photo opportunities, Disney Junior, Star Wars Launch Bay.
They've had Star Wars Launch Bay.
That's still there.
It's where the Little Mermaid show used to be officially gone. I don't know.
That's actually a great question.
I'm gonna find out.
It's been closed. I don't think you can find out. It's
okay.
just on
it's on hiatus.
Refurbishment, yeah. Or not even a refurbishment. It's just been closed since COVID.
Closed for COVID. All right.
And it never came back.
What does that mean? Maybe it's not coming back.
People are speculating a lot of things, but no one knows for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was doing well. I know you hate it. I know you hate it. Little Mermaid was my watch this movie every day when I was like a little kid. So I have a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for it, but I do get that it's terrible quality. I get it.
It's funny that you should say I hate it, because I actually have one of my most vivid childhood memories is waiting in line for the backlot tour.
Uh-huh.
And in the line for the backlot tour, the pre-show was this battleship.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What
remember
Pearl
that?
Harbor themed.
Was it officially Pearl Harbor themed?
Yes, they showed clips from the movie.
They're showing you how they filmed that.
Yeah, and they're giving
But they've got they take volunteers from the audience.
For a water effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in line for that, and we had just seen The Little Mermaid show.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about the song Part of Your World, and how beautiful it is, and how much I enjoyed that show as a child.
Yes. But as an adult, I've heard you say, can you believe you can see these guys, like, in the glowy part?
I enjoy a lot of things that are garbage. This, unfortunately, was pretty rough, especially at the end of it. It's like it just smelled like mildew. Like, it was obvious that they kind of just let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not a great.
Is that a play on words, since they brought in Frozen?
Not in that area.
I know,
though.
but wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah, I could have thought. Oh, they should just put a Frozen musical in there.
Well, you mean move the?
No.
Oh, you mean add another Frozen?
Well, for me, yes, but this is under the assumption that they would close.
Yeah.
For the first time in forever. We'll talk about that for the first time in forever later, because I've got opinions on that too.
Okay. Well, anyway,
what were we even talking?
That whole section.
Oh,
they've got
that's right. That whole back
they've
there.
Got dance parties, Disney Junior.
Would your child like this if you had a child now, like a small child?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's a personality of the child thing, but I think it's pretty hot to be dancing around in the 100-degree heat.
Yeah.
But their kids definitely do it, so
yeah, I don't know.
We're spoiled.
I'm not a parent, so I don't really know how to speak to this one.
And my child is 16.
Right, because it seems like it was pretty specifically designed for like small children. But at the same time, I feel like anything that is a quality Disney thing can be easily consumed and enjoyed by children
and adults.
It not be miserable for everyone else in the party. I don't know that this passes that test.
I don't think so. That I completely agree with what you're saying.
See, the Dumbo queue, the new one, the play tent, is designed specifically for children, but is also a delight for adults.
Yes, and air conditioned.
Seating.
And yes.
It's air conditioned.
Yes.
It was designed with the whole family in mind. It was geared toward the children, but designed for everyone.
Right.
This is designed for people who should be doing something else.
Right.
And geared toward monsters who don't know any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that
it's wrong. It's bad.
I think that the way it's set up, that it goes I feel like it goes against Walt's vision, where he was like, I want parents and kids to be able to do stuff together, and everybody enjoying it, because he came up with the idea for Disneyland when he's at a park and his daughters were playing on stuff, but there's nothing for him to do. He's just sitting on a bench.
Right.
And he's like, I wish but this is that. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is that.
Your kid's dancing in the 100-degree heat with Vampira or whatever, and you're standing there.
It is kind of funny that they couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, I guess there could be more to it, and I just don't know, because like I said, I don't have a young child right now, so I haven't been back there in a while, even just to look around. Because no, you know what I mean? You don't even like the font in that area.
No, I don't. And who does? No,
I don't know, but you should explain that.
There's nothing to explain. I don't.
There's an archway.
There's an archway that leads into the animation courtyard.
The area that I'm talking about.
Which that is. And they recently updated the logo of Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it is like such a reflection of degrade and quality control at Disney. Yeah. It's just very plain, very basic.
Very basic font.
No sense of identity, no sense of history, no appreciation for the grandiose vision it is to encapsulate all of old Hollywood in one family dynamic place.
Yeah.
All of that thought is gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to watch your favorite things become bad, you know? It's rough. Bear in the Big Blue House used to be back there.
Yeah, is it not anymore? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't go back there
anymore.
It got
replaced by Playhouse Disney, which then got replaced by Disney Junior, but it's on that stage. I have a friend...
See, I wouldn't even know, because I know not to go back there.
I have a friend named Tori. Hi, Tori. And she, when she was a child, she climbed on stage of Bear's Big Blue House, almost fell through a trapdoor, and had to be rushed off the stage by cast members.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that bit of history is gone. So I really hate the Disney Junior Dance Party.
Okay.
But it did have, I would say, Bear in the Big Blue House. The other things it had were good quality presentations for children. So now that it's degraded into
Dance party.
not that is a little sad.
Dance party feels cheap to me.
Dance party will never be show.
A dance party, if you want to do that in the
Disney Springs parking lot.
Yes. If they want to do that as part of the like, I don't know, free ride, that would be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to entertain a bunch of these kids while they're waiting to get into Frozen sing along or PhilharMagic or something like that, and like, oh, in this big waiting room, we're gonna dance party, woo! You know, great. Yes, have my child expend some energy by dancing with the characters while I'm standing here in an air-conditioned room waiting to go into a show. Fine.
Yes.
But like that being the full attraction feels a little cheap to me.
Good for a bonus, not for a billboard attraction.
Right.
You know.
So what is one of your things on the bottom?
This is going to be controversial.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be controversial.
That's what we do.
This is why it's toward the, it's not the worst thing.
He said he wanted to fight you guys.
It's not the worst thing at Hollywood Studios, but
okay.
But it's one of them.
Go on.
This is controversial. It's just it's bad for what it is. It's a little bad for what it is.
Oh my god.
Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Oh, it's on my list. It just came out. It should be better.
You know what? I didn't even have to talk about it. That's all I have to say. It just came out. It should be better.
It shouldn't feel like a video game, but that's what it feels like. It feels like
Dave and Buster's arcade attraction.
When Bailey was like 7, we used to take her to Dave and Buster's and play this game that was like a VR Star Wars game, and that's this.
This is
just with a lot of people.
There's no difference.
Well, six people, not a lot.
It is fun, but in a way where like you used to go into Epcot, you go into the Wonders of Life, and you're pedaling around on a little bicycle, and it's taking you through Disneyland. Not
2 hours. Wait, what?
That's fun. That is what this is. You know what I mean? It's just a little like side bonus. It's like Some of All Thrills over at Innoventions, which was this little station where you could design your own roller coaster track, and then you go into the simulator car, and it would take you on that roller coaster track that you just built. This is like a similar quality of experience to that. You just wait for, and the queue is like good, but not even.
The queue is great,
but not even like not good enough.
I would say the queue is the best part.
The best part is the pre-show.
That's what I was including that.
Maybe I shouldn't have. If you include,
we did have a podcast separate for pre-show.
I think we've just thought too much about pre-shows. It's like broken in our brain.
But the queue and pre-show, if you combine those, that's the best part.
That is very true.
Almost, it's worth doing once, I would say.
Yeah, it's got a really fluid, awesome, well-articulated animatronic.
But then once you get in there, it's a video game.
And it wasn't working the last time we wrote it, so we didn't even the best part. The animatronic wasn't working.
Oh, you're talking about the pre-show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so disappointing.
That's hard.
And but once you get in there, it's a video game built for like 6 people, where it's like a VR video game, and really only 2 of those people are in charge of whether you do well or not. The 2 pilots, and there's a lot of jostling around. You're running into stuff.
Yes, but the main problem is
it's a video game.
The main problem is 2 hours. Grandma was flying this on the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
it's not worth the wait. I agree.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Even if you're a hardcore Star Wars person, it feels a little lazy.
No, I agree. We do have people in our party that like video games and do enjoy the ride, but I don't think even they would wait an hour for it.
Probably not, and of course they enjoy it because it is a good quality video game.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But it is just a video game.
I think for the 4 people that aren't the pilots, though, it's
less fun.
Yeah.
It is less fun.
You're really not doing anything. They're like Yeah, push this button to shoot stuff, and
It's
you just
very
push it the
mission
whole time.
space. Yeah.
Yeah, the other 4 people, I agree.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, that was on my...
The better version of this is already in the park, and they built it like 40 years prior, so I don't understand the problem.
I know.
You know.
Okay, so...
We'll get to that, though, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
At some point.
So do you want to go to best?
Yeah, let's do a bestie.
Okay, all right. I put Fantasmic on my list.
Oh, Fantasmic's number 2
Is Fantasmic on your list? Oh, great.
Fantasmic is one of the best nighttime spectaculars.
It's great because it's a show. It's a show that everybody can see, which is really important.
This is the nighttime spectacular at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
It is. Yep.
It runs nightly, sometimes
twice,
sometimes twice. And it is what Disney calls their nighttime spectacular. So fireworks at the end,
show,
pyrotechnics, an actual show,
singing,
water projections, live performance.
Yeah, it checks all the boxes, and everyone can see it because it's stadium seating, which, like I've talked about a bunch of times in this podcast, is very important for me at height of 5'2". I usually can't see the projections on the castle. I usually can't see the projections on the middle of the Harmonious
barge.
Bar.
Well, you won't have to worry about that much longer, will you?
Well, I think that they're going to still use that stuff.
They're going to.
Well, they're certainly not going to build stadium seating in
the
walkway
Disney
around
has
World.
confirmed that they are removing those barges, though.
Oh my gosh.
So that is
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, as of their replacement,
how much money did that cost them?
probably a lot, but who knows, because well, we'll talk about the reason why business was interesting with a certain CEO at some point, but until more information about that becomes public, we can just say we can chalk it all up to some leadership problems.
Yeah.
Surely is the real reason
So
Harmonious didn't go well.
Do you think was the decision to can Harmonious right after leadership changed hands?
It was before.
Okay.
Because it was at D23.
All right.
When they announced it was going away. But I think at that point, it had been pretty well understood that Harmonious was a guest feedback failure.
I just thought that they would keep the
investment.
Yes, the
of
investment,
the barges,
and then just change the show.
That was one of the major guest complaints, was that
the barges in the middle of the lake.
The barges were ugly.
Well,
they
were supposed to be a fountain during the day, like come together and be a fountain.
And they weren't.
Why? Yeah,
no one knows.
I know you don't know.
A huge mishandling of your public's trust that you will deliver the product that you say you're going to deliver.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, anyway, that was off topic a bit. Stadium seating at Fantasmic is amazing because even if you're short, even if you're a child, you're going to see the show.
Yeah. That honestly is the marvel of it, is that it is for everyone.
Yes.
If you're brand new to Disney and you don't know anything about Disney, the star is Mickey Mouse. It's very accessible.
The Mickey Mouse with the sorcerer hat on.
Yeah, it's very accessible. It's got a very easy to understand plot line. It's got Disney media from all generations.
Yeah.
It's
I would say
winner.
this is my favorite nighttime spectacular.
It's a winner.
Yeah.
Until Happily
Because
Ever
I can see
After
it.
comes back in a new format, I will say right now that this is currently my favorite nighttime spectacular.
Yeah, nice.
And the really tasteful way they updated it recently, it makes my heart sing.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy. The Moana inclusion, the Frozen 2 inclusions, it all was done so well. I like it all.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was a best for me. What do you have? Do you have another? How many bests do you have left?
I have 4.
Wow.
Best
we should
left.
probably go back and forth on it. How many not best?
But we've already talked about one of those, so I really only have 3.
Okay.
As far as worst best goes, I only have 2 left that we haven't discussed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only have 2 left as well, and I bet ours are the same. Maybe not.
Maybe. Let's go through. Should I drop a best?
Yes.
Okay. A best for me is Muppet Vision 3D.
And so this was on my honorable mentions list. So nostalgic for me.
Yes. Now, when you stack this up against some more modern offerings like this,
it's not technologically advanced.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. This is not Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
Honey. you know.
There's not an animatronic.
There's
Oh,
not.
wouldn't it be awesome if there was? Okay.
But there's a live actor.
Yeah, there is. There is. Oh,
Mm.
there is. Is the bunny animatronic?
There are 3
Yeah. Oh my god, I
animatronics in this
forgot.
ride.
Oh my gosh, and those 2 are the best. So I don't know how I forgot about that.
Statler and Waldorf have an animatronic. Bean Bunny has an animatronic.
True.
So there are animatronics, a live actor, in studio effects, and a Jim Henson made
Yes.
movie.
3D.
3D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nostalgic.
Very nostalgic.
Funny.
I would say, for the most part, it holds up, like, comedically. It doesn't, I mean, obviously the actual film is quite old, so it looks like it was made in the 80s.
I think it would be more popular if they kept Muppets relevant to the new generations, but they didn't.
They need to figure it out, because let me tell you
something.
something.
They tried the Haunted Mansion Muppets thing. I love that.
I thought that was good. I thought that was pretty good. But, like, the Muppet movies have had various success, the newer ones. The old ones are all great. But the newer ones, varying success. The Muppets TV series that they've done, some of them have done better than others. The newest one did not do well at all, Muppets Online or something.
Okay.
So this is one that they have not put their finger on what they're gonna do with in a major way.
Yeah.
Star Wars, they attacked head on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They had a plan. They made it happen. It did financially extremely well for them. The Muppets they acquired, and I feel like, they just haven't really figured out what direction to take the legacy of them in, and so Muppet Vision 3D has always stayed exactly the same.
So, and yes, and a thing that I found wildly surprising is that a bunch of, like 5 years ago maybe, it was rumored that the Muppets might 3D, the Muppet 3D show might go away, because it even then was a 5-minute wait. It was a walk-on attraction.
Yes.
Which, when things get like that, you start worrying. But then they took the Toy Story Pizza Planet and turned it into a Muppet pizza place.
Right.
Which was like, okay, so you're not going to close it, because otherwise why would you have done this? And now they're both back there and both not popular.
Right. And there are Star Wars attractions on either side. So it's
weird.
It is on Muppet Vision, and the Muppet Courtyard are on the tip of an iceberg.
Yes.
They're at the they're at the ledge of a cliff.
Yeah.
They are like, I can't understand how it's still open, and that makes me love it even more.
Yes. I mean, I would love for them to maybe move it, if that's possible. The show, Pizza Rizzo's, I think was a
run
mistake.
In California Adventure. Pizza Rizzo is a mistake. Everyone hates it.
Everyone hates it, but
we'll do a review.
Yeah. Pizza Planet, I liked it. People were upset that it didn't look like Pizza Planet from the Toy Story movie.
Yes.
What? Okay. I get it, but it was still a fun place to
I never
eat.
Experienced it, so I have no opinion.
It was an arcade with slices of pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm feeling a very Chuck E. Cheese type vibe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Minus Chucky, you know what I mean? And that whole musical fiasco.
Yeah.
It was an arcade where you would buy a slice of pizza, and it was fine. You know what I mean? It was a great place to wait out thunderstorms. It was a great place to beat the heat. You know what I mean? And play pinball for a few minutes.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
The pizza was fine. Just like it's not like they improved the pizza when they changed it to Pizza Rizzo's. So now it's that minus the arcade games, which is just not fun.
Yeah, now it's just vaguely New
now
York
it's pizza with a rat on it, which is a different way of being like Chuck E. Cheese. Anyway.
Oh, wow. They're really hovering all around Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which really just makes you think of subpar pizza, which is probably another reason it doesn't do great.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a troubled history of that space. I feel like they've never gotten it right there. Yeah. Although I will say, I am glad, I understand why they had to get rid of the Toy Story of it all, because they knew they were going to build a Toy Story Land. So they couldn't have Toy Story Restaurant over there and Toy Story Land
They
and
do-
have Star Tours
They do
next to it
that.
and Star Wars.
That's-
Like, the park is a mess.
The park
you know
is
what
a
I
little
mean?
bit of a mess in that way.
The
Yeah,
layout-
something needs to probably change, but I don't want to say that because I don't want Muppet 3D to go away.
I guarantee Muppet 3D,
Will
Muppet
go away.
Vision 3D won't last probably my entire lifetime.
Oh no,
But something...
I don't think a lot of stuff will,
No.
right? Like,
my whole lifetime, probably almost nothing. But, like, as far as, like, even the next 20, 15, 10 years...
no, I don't think so either.
It seems hard to believe. But I also think maybe they're going to leave Hollywood Studios alone for a minute because they're
working
some
on
major
other
changes.
stuff. Yeah.
So it might be another minute, you know?
Yeah.
So ride it while you can because it is, you know, Jim Henson's last big project and it has a lot of historical significance.
Yeah. And a lot of nostalgia to people who have been on it.
And it is a fun show.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Again, great place to beat a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Take a break from the heat.
Yep.
All right. We should probably do another best unless you want to finish off with a couple.
I'm good with another best.
Okay. All right, you want me to go?
Sure.
Okay, I put Tower of Terror as one of my top bests.
Can you believe this is on my honorable mentions?
Yeah. There's a lot of good options at Hollywood Studios.
There's a lot of, I love so many things there, and this one is just, I don't ride it every time I'm there. I've got people in my party who can't ride it because motion sickness, so like...
It does seem like one of the ones where there's always somebody that doesn't want to go on it.
Yeah, and that, I think, is part of the Sunset Boulevard. Like, we often talk about this era in the 90s where Disney was adding thrill to everything. Sunset Boulevard was just an expansion to get 2 thrill rides in Hollywood Studios, and Tower of Terror is probably one of those Disney rides where not everyone in the family is going to want to. Right. Grandma might not want to do this one. The baby is crying. No Tower of Terror for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, a lot of little kids won't do this.
Somebody's sitting on that brick wall, you know.
Even a lot of adults won't do this.
Yeah, I didn't do this as a kid.
I didn't do this as a kid either.
It wasn't.
My brother did it as a kid, but doesn't do it as an adult.
It wasn't until later in my childhood, like when I was like 10 or something, 11, that I got brave to do this one. It's scary.
Yeah, it's a straight drop.
You can see from the outside what's going to happen to you. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, again, this one's got a lot of nostalgia for me.
And we can't talk about this without talking about the fact that it's amazing. You know what I mean?
And the queue and
the architecture.
Pre-show?
Yeah. Yes, pre-show.
Pre-show.
The architecture of the building, the queue, the outdoor queue is even gorgeous.
Very
the gardens
extra,
of the hotel.
Yes.
Everything is
all the details are amazing.
Detailed and ornate. The pre-show is amazing. The story of the pre-show and how it's cut up, synthesized, you know.
Yeah.
Vocal is like incredible. And then the actual ride, all the way up until, you know, the drop, is like also beautiful and detailed and an interesting story.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have another best?
I do.
How many best do you have?
I've got 2 best left.
Okay. Well, let's hop back to worst then.
All right. Hey, you know what's bad?
What?
The Indiana Jones show.
Okay.
We've never done it together. We've been to Hollywood Studios like a million times together, so that should tell you something.
Well, yes, but it didn't make my bottom 5 because, again, nostalgia for me. Also, I don't think it's a terrible show, but I like Indiana Jones a lot, the movies, so.
I also don't think it's a terrible show. I just think it's got that Beauty and the Beast outdoor type thing, but for some reason, it's worse here for me.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like
Bleachers,
it's hotter
I don't think there's backs. It's hot. There's fire.
There's fire all over the place in this show. So you're already hot, and then you're watching it, and it's like they're pumping a fire effect into your face.
Yeah.
Like,
would you sit at the bottom?
Usually no.
Yeah, I would sit far away so I didn't really feel that fire effect, but
yeah.
This is another one with stadium seating. I appreciate that I can see it.
I feel like it's long. I feel like it's very long.
Yeah.
Big chunk of my day for fire.
Yeah, but I bet it's not longer than the Beauty and the Beast show, and you were okay with that.
Yeah, the singing and dancing wasn't really affecting my personal temperature though, so like I didn't really mind, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand why it's on your bottom list. It definitely is not on my top list.
There have been a lot of safety issues with the show, not for guests, but for cast members. So now I think of that every time I look at this show. You know, it's just got problems.
Yeah. Just trying to see how long it is.
You know, it's probably, I would say, no more than an hour, no less than 15 minutes. So you're firmly in that range.
It's 25 minutes. It's the same
ding,
as the
ding.
Beauty and the Beast swim.
Yeah, so it's for your money.
I don't know if you could say it's long when you said Beauty and the Beast wasn't a long time.
Beauty and the Beast is, I think it's actually, 25 minutes is a very appropriate length for a theme park show. So I take it back. It's not long. It just feels long because of all the fire.
Because you don't care about it.
And also because I don't care about it.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
But when I was a kid, I loved it. So, you know, it's good for the kids. It's just
I don't go see it either. I just don't hate it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not on my bottom 5. I've seen it once.
Morgan, put away your Indiana Jones hat.
I've seen it once in the last 10 years. Once.
Oh, yeah, one time?
Once.
Was it good?
I think so.
You know what's fun? The extras that they pull from the audience. It was good
because I took my husband, and he had never seen it before. And doing something new with somebody just always brings an added element of excitement.
You know, if someone were coming to the studios for the first time, I'm going to be honest, I probably would skip this.
But I did skip this when we brought
But if someone said, oh, I love Indiana Jones, I really want to see that, I would do it and they would like it.
Yes.
So it is what it is,
yes.
You know? Yes. It's there for a reason.
So I will go to my controversial one on the bottom, and then I bet you have one more.
Uh-huh.
I bet that's the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my controversial one that's not on your bottom 5 list, and not on a lot of your bottom 5 lists, I'm putting Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway on my bottom 5 list.
This is a brain melt.
Yeah, you knew this was coming. For me, it hurts me that this took the place of a great movie ride. But not only that, I don't like the animation style that they decided to use.
Yeah.
I think that if they were going to do a Mickey and Minnie ride, that it should have been with the Mickey animation style that has been used for the past 40, 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
But not the very, very beginning Mickey, because he was a little weird. They needed to
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what
I'm not saying, I want it to be so classic that it's what Walt drew. That's not, although he actually never really.
Right.
I'm not even going to go into this.
Uh-huh.
First Mickey was weird. They're selling a picture of him on t-shirts right now. It's weird.
Is that first Mickey?
It's gotta be. It's weird. But look, if you watch the cartoons from the 40s.
He is weird.
No, he's somewhere in there he gets normal. Like the Christmas one I'm talking about, like the normal way that we grew up with him. Okay, Jake doesn't understand what.
No, I do actually. You're right. He
like if you think about the Christmas episode, the Christmas movie with him and Pluto and they chop down the tree.
Yeah, classic.
That was normal. That's my normal Mickey.
And he has eyes, the whites of his eyes and pupils. Right? But classic Mickey is.
He doesn't have round teeth. What the flip?
Yeah.
Why does new Mickey have round teeth?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hate it.
But I don't mind when they do no pupil, all singular black eye Mickey.
Yeah.
Fine with that. That's more of the classic Mickey vibe without being weird original Mickey.
Right.
Or I like when they do kind of standard Mickey, the one that's been on all the, gift cards.
Oh, you do know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I just told you I know what you're talking about. I just think it's so funny that you're like, old Mickey was weird. Why is this new one got round teeth? But it's so true.
I'm very specific in the Mickey that I want, but he was around from right after the beginning until pretty recently.
Yeah, so they're taking your safety blanket Mickey away.
Yes.
It is a little jarring, isn't it? I also don't love some of the character renderings in the new style.
The round, head, it's all weird to me.
I'm specifically talking about Goofy, who looks like an abomination.
And he has yellow eyes like he has jaundice,
and
which kills
hair,
people.
And leg hair.
And, moles with hair on it.
Yeah, no.
Why?
The treatment of Pluto in that ride is also a no for me.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I think it's a fun, goofy little thing. So,
I get why people enjoy it.
I would wait 25 minutes for it. I would wait no more than that. But also, in addition to that, it hurts my heart because I'm a great movie ride lover, so I totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I don't think it's terrible, but it certainly isn't making my top list. So
Okay.
it's right in between.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it does hurt my heart. The longer time has gone on and the shiny factor has worn off, the more I miss the Great Movie
But
Ride.
it's not just that it hurts my heart. I also don't love it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it.
You have reasonable objections.
When I heard that they're making the first ever Mickey Mouse ride that was going to take, I was excited. I was excited for it. It's not like I was like immediately, oh, this stinks because it's taking the place of one of my favorite rides. I had an open mind about it. I was excited. I think Mickey deserves to have his own ride. This is not the ride I wanted.
No. I actually think
it doesn't make sense to me. There's so much.
With what Disney is capable of producing nowadays, when we've seen attractions like Guardians and Rise and all of the fancy new things they can do, it is hard to believe that this is what they gave Mickey and Minnie, the icons of your company.
Yeah, and this animation style is relatively new.
They should have done a Sorcerer Mickey something in there. That would have been cool, because he's already the Mickey you really associate with Hollywood Studios.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Because he was in the Great Movie Ride and he was in Fantasmic. Now that was a good time. All right, what else you got?
Are we going back to best, or how many do you have of
Let's
what?
get rid of our bottom. The one we've got left, and we can say it together, and everyone knows what we're talking about. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Alien swirling saucers.
This is garbage.
It's garbage.
It's a fair attraction. Do not wait more than like 5 minutes for this if you're gonna.
Yeah, if you want to wait 10 minutes for it, sure, but it's not going to be exciting.
I know Disney has to have things like this to like even out the wait times and to offer variety for children and all kinds of things, but the quality of this is just not there for a Disney Parks attraction.
I agree. I don't.
It's not there. It's not even like Magic Carpets of Aladdin or a clone of a Dumbo thing.
Yeah.
This is worse than that in my brain.
And I don't think that they needed it.
No.
Because you can take a toddler on Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, they already had a not an e-ticket thing.
Yeah.
I know Toy Story was kind of e-ticket.
Right.
They tried to make it e-ticket when it opened.
Right.
But now it is very happy to be where it is.
But I'm saying if the point was we want something for little kids, you didn't need that.
Yeah.
Because even if your kid is too small to pull the gun thing in that ride, visually it's still a beautiful. Toy Story Mania is a beautiful ride.
Yeah.
It didn't make my top or bottom, but it's a good ride.
Yeah, Toy Story Mania is pretty good.
Did it make your top?
No.
Yeah, it's a good middle of the road. It hurts my hand, but it's visually amazing.
Yeah,
the queue is amazing.
I actually think, I think Disney sometimes undervalues their Toy Story property a little bit. I think Toy Story Mania is good, but I think they did a smart thing by not making it the headline attraction of. They could have just built Toy Story Land around Toy Story Mania. They didn't do that. They built Slinky Dog, which I think was a good balance of things.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they built a bad ride, so I guess.
So really, all is well. Pizza Planet's gone. So they're really just willy-nillying.
Pizza Planet makes so much sense to me.
I wish they would have just.
How could you not have a Pizza Planet?
I wish they would have just built it in Toy Story.
Just redo it.
I know that I know that this is Andy's backyard, and so that has a story implication with Pizza Planet.
Okay.
But at the same time, can't he have built Pizza Planet out of pizza boxes?
Oh, sure.
And then that would make
perfect sense.
And then you go in, and it's actual real. Pizza Planet from the movie. Fun. Why don't they do that?
You're so smart.
Well, I just don't understand why there's no Pizza Planet.
I agree. They are making a new restaurant, and it's Woody's Roundup Barbecue. So maybe that'll be good.
You have
I might have said that wrong.
You have no. You have a restaurant franchise, a fictitious restaurant franchise that everyone from our entire generation has been wanting to go their entire life.
For real.
And you're going to build a barbecue restaurant?
Yeah.
Have you lost your mind?
If you put a restaurant in one of Disney's animated movies, make it in the park. All of them. I think Tiana should be in the park.
It's coming to Disneyland. Did you see?
I know.
Another thing we're not getting. I'm so bitter.
We should at least get a counter service beignet place, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe.
if not at that Port Orleans.
I know.
It seems
Right now,
weird.
Port Orleans, the resort has beignets that are like they've got a cult following, but it's Scat Cat's Lounge beignets.
Not sold by Tiana.
No,
It's
sold by
weird.
an Aristocat.
Yeah, and do people even know Aristocats anymore?
Oh, yes. But yes. Marie's on a lot of stuff. But do they
right.
they don't even eat beignets in
No.
the Aristocats. They're in Paris. Are beignets from Paris? I know that they're largely associated with New Orleans.
Yeah.
This is my rant. Sorry.
Yeah,
but if you put a restaurant in a movie, it should show up in a park.
It would be, but like no one more than Pizza Planet, because that's the one that we've all been built on nostalgia for since the 90s.
And you can make money off the arcade games. Why not?
Yeah. No one's expecting the pizza to be amazing either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're
expecting.
But
if it was, even better. You do know how to do that.
Yeah, we've had some great. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we down to our number?
What? Via Napoli pizza in there.
That's literally it. I was gonna say we've had great pizza at Disney, but then I remembered it's only been in one place.
Well, that is in Disney, although they don't own that. I don't think.
But it is so good. I want to go back.
I think they're capable of finding a recipe for good pizza.
Yeah, they can do it. I know you can, Disney. I know you can.
So what were you saying?
Should we go to our shared number one? Do we have a shared number one?
I don't know.
Oh, tell me your number one.
Okay.
Do you only have a number one left?
I have 2 honorable mentions and a number one.
Let's do our honorable mentions. It's time.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have Star Tours as an honorable mention.
Me too.
So nostalgic.
DJ Rex is our mascot on the visual version of the podcast, so he is part of our hearts. A comet. I love this attraction.
I love this attraction too. I love the queue. I love now. I like that it's a different ride every time, a different show. Whatever.
This is another one where I understood that they had to update it, and I don't hate the update.
Yeah.
So that's a win.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And then, what's your other honorable mention? Yeah, you said.
Well, Tower and Terror and Slinky Dog, which I'm sure make everyone else's top 5, did not make my top 5.
Yeah,
so they are honorable mentions for me. My other honorable mention is For the First Time in Forever, a Frozen sing-along. This is a good show. It is fun. The presenters of Arendelle are basically improv comedians who get to tell you the story of Frozen in a fun improv-y way where they do little bits and voices, and it is right up my alley, and I love it very much. The only reason it didn't make my top 5 are because there are other shows that are better than it, and also because they haven't up.
You prefer Beauty and the Beast to Frozen, huh?
I do, because...
Wow, that's shocking.
Well, Beauty and the Beast has some beautifully choreographed moments. It's got live singing.
Sure.
For the First Time in Forever is a little bit...
But it's inside.
Yes, but it gets a little children's birthday party.
I agree. That's why it didn't make my list.
It's
cheesy.
Elsa's dressed up as Elsa, and she's there to... sing, quotation marks, let it go. And it's just, there's just some...
And it's a sing-along. I mean, sing-along by nature...
It's a sing-along. It's not as big budget and, beautiful as a fully staged Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, you're right.
So, of course, it's going to get
The Beauty and the
marks.
Beast show is like a condensed version of the Broadway show, except for... Yeah, anyway. But this is not. This is like...
This is not.
This is a sing-along.
This falls a little more onto, this is the quality that the Disney Junior show should be.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. This is a better entertainment offering for your children than that, and your children love Frozen, so just take them to this.
Yeah.
And you'll get enjoyment out of the historians doing their improv bits. They'll get enjoyment from the songs and singing along. Everybody wins. Pretty good. The reason...
Air conditioning.
Another problem I have with it is that Frozen 2 is a huge movie, was Disney's biggest budget earner, whatever.
Right. We thought they might bring it in when they did a small refurb, and they didn't.
No Frozen 2. Okay. So very strange.
Very strange.
There's no Frozen 2 represented.
I think I like the songs from Frozen 2 better than the songs from Frozen 1.
They've got some real great tunes in there. Into the Unknown, Show Yourself, which you can now see at Fantasmic. But also Lost in the Woods is a great song.
Funny.
For Kristoff.
Yeah. So You have no more you just have a number one left?
I just have a number one left.
So this is weird to me because there are two that I imagined would have made a list. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you my other honorable mention.
Okay.
My other honorable mention is Rock and Roller Coaster.
I missed Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay.
I'm a fool. Yeah.
Where would it have landed?
Number 3.
It would have landed at number 3?
Yes.
That was a very specific and quick answer.
Yeah.
All right. It for me, it jumped down to honorable mention because of the head banging, no pun intended. It like when you're on it, your head gets banged back and forth against the like side shoulder restraints, and I wind up leaving this ride
Black
with a headache.
and blue. You're like got beat up by Steven Tyler.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Also,
kind of like
it
that.
feels like a 15-second ride.
It is so short.
In actuality, it's like right over a minute, I think.
In reality, I love the pre-show of this because Aerosmith gives such a strange performance in it. But more than that, the actual thing I love about this ride is being on a roller coaster while Sweet Emotion plays.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the other songs are fine.
It's 1 minute and 22 seconds, but it feels like 15 seconds.
It goes by really fast. But like, okay, so
that's a long wait for 1 minute and 22 seconds.
When it was Fast
Pass,
when it was Fast Pass Plus, and you could just get you could get a Fast Pass for this and just walk on in 5 minutes. We would do that.
Oh yeah,
all the time, and it was great.
But now I have a really hard time justifying a wait for such a short ride that is also gives me a headache.
Yeah.
And I get headaches pretty easily, so maybe that's a personal thing.
Yeah, this one does not give me a headache, but I hate some of the
We have figured out that it might be a height thing too, though.
Yes,
because
of the restraints.
Yeah, my head is right in between the shoulder restraints, and maybe yours isn't so much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do love that ride, but it does have problems, so it's not number 1.
But I do love the ride too. That's why it did make my honorable mentions list, and it's not just not on my list.
So then
because I do love it.
So then what's your number 1?
So we should be the same on number 1.
Yeah. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba.
You want me to say it?
Is that even the Star Wars theme?
No.
Okay. Well, I sure did try.
It's a version.
It was close.
You're just trying to keep us from getting like a copyright flag. I appreciate that.
You have to change a couple notes. You have to change a couple.
You have to add a bing at the end.
Well, then why didn't you? Let's try again.
Because you already did it. I'm not doing this.
Oh my gosh. Our number 1 is Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance, which is funny.
What's your favorite part of Rise of the Resistance?
When you walk in and see all the stormtroopers, which isn't even part of the ride.
My favorite part is the Kylo Ren scene where he gets like the end. I won't spoil it for people who haven't read it.
You mean when he's doing the Wicked Witch of the West part?
Yeah, that is what I mean, actually.
Because people have speculated that this is the same animatronic as.
But people have speculated that.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is, because this one seems more fluid than that one was, although that one was the most fluid at the time.
This ride exists at Disneyland, and they didn't have a great movie ride. I'm not saying that they couldn't just make one for one park and not for the other, but I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely, that one is
carbon copy, I think, at Disneyland.
Right.
Is what I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't been on it.
Yes, I believe it's the exact same,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great ride. I think that it is imaginative. It checks a bunch of boxes.
Yes, it is imaginative. It's got some classic Disney storytelling. It's got updated technology. It's got all of the things that go into the formula of making a ride that meets modern Disney e-ticket expectations.
Absolutely.
And it does, and more.
Yeah, and it's not a roller coaster, which I felt like it was getting to the point where any big ride that came out was going to be like a thrill ride. I much prefer Rise of the Resistance's ride system to a roller coaster, because I feel like when I go to Disney, truly what I'm enjoying on these rides most of the time is story. Yeah,
and
it's got a really great
and production, and like the production of this is like next level.
They went all out for this ride, and like from the second that you enter the pre-show. Okay, maybe not the queue, but the second you enter the pre-show to when you leave and the surroundings that are around you when you leave, it's just like kind of jaw dropping.
It's a journey. It's
Mhm.
like it is such an immersive, like beyond immersive. It like obviously it puts you into the story, but you have such agency in the story. Like
Right.
you are right at the center of things. It's really great. And even for someone who's not a huge Star Wars fan, it does for Star Wars what Pandora does
Yeah.
for Avatar.
Right.
You don't have to be the biggest fan to
Yeah.
recognize that this is like a theatrical masterpiece of an attraction, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now Rise of the Resistance
I
is
am a Star Wars fan, but I definitely see what you mean.
me
Like,
too. Yeah, I'm not a wild Star Wars fan, but I think if you were someone who had no appreciation for Star Wars,
yes.
even just
I
the
agree.
technology of the ride alone is so impressive, you know?
Yeah, you can't deny it. Yeah.
It's really a feat over there at Hollywood Studios.
All right.
And there you have
That's
it.
it.
There you have it. Yeah, we went a little long. Sorry. This is probably the park that we have the most to say about.
This park has really the most big rides.
Yeah.
Not the most rides, right?
I don't think it does have the most rides. But
no, it doesn't.
But it definitely has the, like you were saying, I think it definitely has the most, like, billboard, you know, top tier, must do magic. And
plus we started off talking a lot about the history.
How can you not?
How can you not?
We were there for so much of it.
And it's changed so much.
There's a lot to say. But we also had a lot to say about the president of Hollywood Studios. Sure. And I can't
And
wait
I still like it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's not like, I don't know. I feel like they could have changed it in a way where people were like, oh, you ruined it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think so. It's just different.
Like I said, this is probably my like casual go-to park. For sure.
Yeah. I just walking down those streets makes me so happy, especially at night.
Especially during Christmas.
Everything's made better. But like the Sunset Boulevard and the Hollywood Boulevard, like it's beautiful.
There's few places I'd rather be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this podcast, please remember to subscribe and leave us a review.
Yes, please leave us a review.
And follow us on our website.
Yeah, you can find us at neverlandnavigation.co, and there are links to all of our social media places, plus my blog, but our social media handle is
Neverland Navco on TikTok and Instagram, where we post Disney history stuff, experiences in the park, dining reviews. It's a real good time over there. Y'all have been enjoying that content, and we appreciate it. Also, you can visit our Etsy shop, Neverland Navigation, where you can find some really good, high-quality, parks-inspired
shirts, and also doing like hand towels now.
Yeah, beautiful like decorative kitchen towels. So that's
or bathroom,
or for your bathroom. Yeah. So check us out there.
Yeah, and we're also doing the Taste of Magic now. It's a challenge that we're doing where we are trying every single sit-down restaurant in all Walt Disney World parks.
Yeah, Taste of
Magic through the end of 2023.
Until we've got a year to try everything in the Disney parks
and report back.
Taste of Magic is a huge project. I am very excited for the challenge, and then we're gonna have a finale that we're planning. That's gonna be something pretty cool. Yeah. So we're excited about that. We've already done the Crystal Palace. That was our first entry into the new series, and if you follow along, you can know definitively which of these restaurants is the best for you and your trip. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you on our next adventure. Goodbye.